got close to about 7,000-8,000 subscribers around the globe, which is great, fantastic. It's great to have you. It's I'm really honored to be here speaking to you on 97.7 FM KC Radio. Now, in saying that, we have a fantastic, phenomenal program in store for you today. We have two special guests, not just one, two special guests that we'll be speaking to this morning. We're going to be speaking to Clement Lobo from AMAFA, and we also have Judith Talano, which we'll speak to afterwards. And Judith has a great mentor of mine, has helped me a lot in over the X number of years, many years ago, and constantly is a great support. And she is a master, in public speaking skills, and she has helped a lot of individuals, achieve greatness through public speaking skills and being a competent communicator, if I can put it that way. So we'll speak to Judith after this, and we'll also speak to Clement Lobo. In about 10 minutes or so, we'll speak to Clement Lobo, and some great success he's achieved to going through and constantly working on his success and helping individuals. And this is the key. And I invite people that to come on this program is because not only because they're successful in what they do, but also want to get their message out there, want to get their story out there, and in turn support and help others, individuals, to achieve their success. And this is what's great about some of these individuals I invite on the program. So it's not purely about just their success, it's about helping others achieve that. And that is the key. That is the key. So again, once again, we are streaming live on the web. So if you want to jump on the web, that is www.kcradio.com.au. And you want to jump on my Facebook page, which is www.facebook.com/Ryan Gomez Coaching. I just want to quickly touch once again on the event we're running on the 18th of October. That is Your Story, Your Message. And I just want to quickly just touch on that and say, look, if you haven't registered yourself, register yourself. And a lot of you are asking me, what's this program all about? And, I do a lot of presentation skill workshops, masterclass workshops, leadership workshops. And this is also, when you look at presentation skills and presenting yourself, I'm taking it another notch, where I'm talking about putting your story together. So creating powerful stories that impact audiences, attract clients, and ultimately it's about attracting clients and influencing individuals. So be a speaker, be a coach, be a business owner. It's about creating those powerful stories and ultimately creating a brand. So it's just not about putting a story together. And look, a lot of individuals have some effective stories they can tell, but are they effectively putting those stories together to be able to influence clients? Are they building their brand by telling some of those powerful stories? I don't know. But see, this is where I have learned over the last 8 to 10 years, learning from some successful individuals, how do you do that? And a formula I've created, learning from these powerful people and if you look from some of the successful brands out there, what they do and what they do differently is they tell stories, and effective stories through a message, and then they connect with individuals and create a brand around that. And this is what I'm going to be talking about. It's a couple of hours, 2 hours evening event, which is at the Athura Hotel in Dandenong, let's put it that way. So Melbourne Southeast, and it's a great opportunity for a lot of individuals to come down, and you've got to register yourself. That's the absolute key. So just don't come down, register yourself. It's limited seating, and jump on my Facebook page if you want to register yourself, on my website if you want to do that. The link is on my Facebook page at this current time, which is www.facebook.com/Ryan Gomez Coaching. So if you want to jump on board and register yourself there, and that is the key. That's absolutely so. This is a program we're taking internationally, nationally at some stage next year as well. So again, I'll say it. This is for the coach that wants to change a life. This is for the speaker that wants to share his voice or her voice with the world. It's about the expert that wants to make an impact, not just writing a book, but make an impact writing a book. It's about that service-based business owner who's sick and tired of trading just time for dollars and creating multiple streams of income. It is also for that individual sitting back and going, hey, you know what, I want to create an impact in my life. I want to create an impact in someone else's life, and this is the program for it. So I'm going to show you how to put a keys on the formula. I'll give you the formula of putting a effective story together, and how do you do that, and then finding a message through that. How do you find a message through that, and then ultimately connect with your audience, connect with your clients, build a strong client base, and then you create a powerful brand. You know, when I talk about brands, you look at some of the powerful brands out there. You know, organizations like Nike, organizations like Apple, and you know, even if you look at Uber for example, you know, they're creating some powerful brands, and making how they're doing that is through stories. And a lot of you are going, Ryan, how do they make, how do you create a powerful brand, and how is stories going to help me? This is what I'm going to show you on the 18th of October. So come on down. It's a couple of hours in the evening, and look, I've had a lot of interest with this. Register yourself, and that's the absolute key. We've had sold out events interstate, but you know, jump on board. We've got quite a few seats in Melbourne. It's because I'm running it up in the southeast, so it's a great opportunity for a lot of individuals to jump on board and come and see how to create a powerful story. You know, everyone's got a story in them. Everyone's got a story in them. And a lot of people, and I, you know, I'm amazed when I walk into organizations, and when I go into seminars, and I see individuals when they tell a story. Sometimes it doesn't create an impact, even though that content is great, even though the story is so powerful. They don't create an impact because they don't know the keys of taking it to that level, and using a formula to be able to create a powerful story. It's about affecting. It's about emotion. You know, you've got to affect people, and there's a way of doing that through stories. A lot of you have been for some of my seminars, a lot of you have been for my events and workshops, and you see how I do that. You know, I didn't. At the end of the day, I was not just an award-winning speaker for the sake of being an award-winning speaker. You know, it took a lot of work, a lot of challenge, a lot of work, effort to learn from some successful people and put my story together. I didn't believe I had a story. I said, hey, you know what, come on, I don't have a story. But in saying that, when I found out how to actually effectively tell stories, you know, I took my brand to another level. I took my business to another level. I started connecting with individuals. I started building a great client base. So this is the power of telling stories, and you have to do it effectively. And I'll give you the formula to do that. So again, it is for the coach, it's for the speaker, it's for the business expert, it's for the business owner, if I can put it that way. It is for the author, it's for the entertainer who wants to create an impact in their lives and create an impact on others. And this is what this program is all about. So jump on board. This is happening on the 18th of October, little in about three and a half weeks or so, in Melbourne Southeast, that is. So it's on my Facebook page, which is www.facebook.com/Ryan Gomez Coaching. You know, I want to also touch quickly on attitude, and I don't know why this came to mind, but I said, look, let's talk about a little bit about this. And the story about, and a lot of you have heard the story about a man selling balloons at a fair, and he would stand at the edge of the gate and he would sell balloons at the fair. Now, when his business would go slow, or when his business would slow down a bit, what he would do is he would then take a balloon and he would release it into the air, and the balloon would go into the air, and children playing around in the fair would see this balloon go in the air, and they would then go and buy balloons. And this is when his business would go slow. This is what he'd do. He'd release a balloon up back in the air to get his business up and running. And this happened through the day, and through the days, and through the months. Whenever his business was slow, he would release a balloon into the air. Now, one day he found a young kid tugging at his coat on the side, and he looked to his side, and he saw this young kid standing there tugging at his coat, and he said, and the young kid was asked the man, he says, "Sir, if you release a black balloon, would that fly as well?" And the man looked at the boy, and he was moved by his concern, and he said, "Absolutely, absolutely." He said, the man said with empathy, he said, "Son, it's not the color of the balloon. It is what it's inside that makes it go up. The same applies to our lives, isn't it? The same applies to our lives. It's what's inside that counts. What's inside that comes out that counts. Attitude on the inside is reflected on the outside, or attitude on the outside is reflected on the inside as well, if you can put it that way, vice versa. And I say that because it is a lot of times we see individuals and people ask me this question: how do you build a positive attitude? See, it's important to build that positive attitude. When I went about building a positive attitude, I started learning from people. I started going out there, mixing with individuals that were doing things that that were creating a positive impact on individuals, impact on people's lives, impact on themselves as well. And I was learning to build a character. I was learning. See, character building, it takes a lot of work to build a character. And these are the individuals who have, the attitude is a positive. And the greatest discovery of a generation in a human being can alter their lives by altering their attitudes of minds. And that was William James of Harvard University said that. And it's important to reflect on this and see. A lot of us go through life and learning a lot in life. In the first 15, 20 years, 20, 25 years we go was, schooling, education, university, whatever it is we do. And for the next, and we then believe that it is our right now to go out and make a living, and that's the fact. We go out and make a living, and we say, that's it. We've invested the first 25 years. We don't want to invest in ourselves. Now that's a bad attitude. Let's put it that way. And I'll say that openly on air. It's a bad attitude because we've got to realize that it's about constantly investing in ourselves. It's about constantly sharpening our mental acts. The reason why people are head and shoulders above the rest today in life, in their careers, in their business, in their lives, is because they're head and shoulders above the rest, because they're constantly investing in themselves. They're constantly sharpening their mental acts. They're constantly working on their attitude. Attitude. It's amazing some of the stats you get on attitude, because if you look at a study at Harvard University, it found that a person got a job or a promotion, 85% of the time was because of their attitude, and 15% of the time is because of their specific skills, facts, figures they know. 85% of the time. And this is coming out from Harvard University. I mean, look at it. So I ask the question is, how are you building a positive attitude? What is your attitude? How is your attitude towards life? It's amazing when you start to have a positive attitude about things and you start to build a positive attitude around you. You start to draw some positive people around you. So look deep inside and say and think about this. What I've just spoken about. I don't have much time to get into this. I can talk about this for the next hour or so on this particular topic on attitude. But think about it. Reflect on this and say, what are some of the skills, what are some of the things you're doing to sharpen your mental acts? What are some of the things you're working on constantly? What are some of the things that you are learning every single day? It's about constantly learning, and it's about constantly putting that effort in and building a positive attitude. And ultimately, when you build that positive attitude, you build a great character about yourself. And this is where some of the greatest leaders stand out, is about then with their character. Now, let's go to a short break and we'll be right back after this. I have Clement Lobo, who we'll speak to in a little while or so. I'm running out of time. I can get talking about this.